Good evening, and welcome to the Arsenal Women's Chat Show, the home of the champions of Europe. So, welcome my guests. Catherine, how are you?
Doing good. Happy it's the end of the week.
It's nice and cold where you are, I hear.
Yes, very. Staying warm though.
I'm sure it's not as cold as Meadow Park was on Wednesday night.
Could argue that it might have been, or it might be now.
And Kev, how are you?
Okay, but yeah, looking forward to a nice long day tomorrow because I'm actually ditching the car and the bike and I'm going up to the bridge by train.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a small match on Wednesday night that we're going to very briefly discuss before moving on. Catherine, what were your thoughts on Wednesday night?
I was frustrated. I was doing the watch along with Laura and Ryan, and it's just frustration. And I think the biggest thing is no one is putting the ball on target. And when we do get a shot off on target, it's not pointed in any singular direction except for directly at the keeper. And that is the most frustrating thing. I think Renee has touched on it multiple times after, during her post-match debriefs of just they are creating the chances. They just aren't finishing them. And that's the most frustrating part. Because when you look at last year, where we were scoring 3, 4, 5 goals almost every game, to then this year maybe getting one.
Yeah. So, do you think that's a confidence thing in our forwards, or is it something further back in the lineups?
I don't know, because I look at like the player stats, seeing who's creating the chances, and chances are being created, and it's just like who's like no one's. It seems like no one is being clinical enough in the front line to finish what they started, or finish what all of that buildup was for. So I don't know. I mean, so many people, the so-called fans on X are saying, what is Kelly Smith telling these forwards that's making them not shoot? And I don't think it's that. I don't. It's hard to pinpoint because like we aren't at the training. We don't know what's being said. It's just frustrating to know that we have people that can contribute to goals, and it's just not happening right now. And maybe it's just that the midfield doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken numerous times about the midfield, haven't we, Kev? About the number 10 role and the number 6 roles and things. Do you see that as being the issue there?
Not so much, because I mean, and at the end of the day, the worst thing that for me that could happen was to actually play Russo in the 10, because I think that I have said this before. Part of the problem is doing everything else. When I really believe they should be telling her to back off of all that stuff and concentrate on scoring. Forget trying to set anybody else up. It's their jobs to set her up. But yeah, that 10. I think the 10 role is it's annoying. After, as Catherine said, last year we scored for fun, but I think we've lost the 10. The 10's just not functioning. But I'll go back to some of the highlights from Wednesday night, if there can be such a thing. Smilla Holmberg's the best crosser of the ball we got. She clips it into the 6-yard box. She doesn't belt it across and out for a throw in the other side.
But yeah, I feel like I know exactly what part you're talking about, because I think she created a chance and then just flipped it right over everyone, landed right at the feet of Frida, and Frida did absolutely nothing with it. You're 2 feet away from the goal with half the net wide open.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, but I keep saying and I keep hoping it's going to fall into place and someone's going to get hammered. Please, God, let it be Chelsea tomorrow.
Yeah. Evening, Darren.
Good evening. Apologies for being late.
No worries.
Have I missed some good rants?
We're trying to stay positive.
I mean, I think a big positive from the game is that Arsenal did not commit as many fouls as United did, and technically we only got 2 yellow cards. They just happened to go to the same player. United had 5. They had
lumps out of us.
Yeah, and oh God, Arsenal committed 4 fouls compared to United's 9, and yet they got 5 yellow cards and Arsenal had 2, and it happened to come against or for the same player. But she was Olivia Smith was the most fouled player in that game, and she made 2 tackles that.
Exactly that, and it's like George always says. Olivia is like the female equivalent of Saka. Is always getting lumps kicked out of her. And you mentioned those 9 those 9 fouls that Man United committed to us. They're all cynical fouls as well. All stop in play. All 9 of them should have been frigging booked. Oh, we were raging in the stands that night. That referee was abysmal, absolutely abysmal. But then again, not as abysmal as our front. What are they? I don't even want to call them
our attackers.
I don't even call them attackers either. I'm trying to find a polite word of describing Frida Marlin's performance. She was shocking, absolutely shocking.
Then you're gonna love this. Frida had 5 shots in that game. 1 was on target. 1 was blocked. The shots that she missed, she had 2 that were just high. She had 1 that was high and wide, and she took 2 shots from outside the box. And I think we've said it before, like, they are trying to walk the ball in the back of the net. The fact that the commentator said, "Oh, it looks like they're trying to walk the ball into the back of the net."
So
just shoot from outside the box. But
from that perspective, though, when you say that, then it makes a mockery of us saying that Frida was shocking. Her finishing was shocking, but for her industry, she was actually quite positive. So they just need. I don't know. Is Kelly Smith? Is that her name? Kelly Smith, the bloody shooting straight. Yeah. Is she the problem? I don't know. Oh my God! Have we spoke about Russo?
We're trying to stay positive. 3 shots not on target, and her off the ball work isn't fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this last night, and I thought, we must remain positive because at the end of the day, it's our team, and we love them through thick and thin, win or lose, sink or swim. But there was so many negatives to take from that game. And let's face it, I mean, I hear you, Kev. Somebody's going to get a smashing one day. God knows who. I ain't got a clue. You look at our team, you look at our next few fixtures. I don't know anything about AS far. So would we smash them? I don't know, maybe. We're certainly not smashing Gotham. We ain't smashing Gotham. We ain't smashing Chelsea tomorrow. We ain't smashing Man City at the Emirates next month, and we probably won't even beat or smash London City Lionesses and definitely not Brighton. So who's the team that we're going to smash? I don't know. Silence, you say. We can answer the question.
I'm trying to think about that Gotham game. Like if we do advance and we get to that final 4 Gotham and we play Gotham, assuming that they advance as well, would it be more beneficial for Arsenal since they have been playing and Gotham have only had training sessions? I don't even think they've had club friendlies since the NWSL season ended back in November, October, or whenever they got knocked out of the playoffs. So maybe that could, but then it's like, all right, then now you got tired legs. So it's pros and cons to both sides. It's all the what ifs. But
well then, Paul, bring up the mood then, because
we're going to need to be able to call ourselves world champions.
Yeah, well, so tomorrow we take the European champions, go to that small ground in Chelsea, and we'll see what that brings. Catherine, how do you see us lining up at the back? Obviously, Leah's still out. Emily Fox is apparently available. We've had Daphne on the bench in midweek. Where do you see her starting?
I feel like Daphne's going to end up starting. I would like to see Hines starting over McCabe. You're probably still gonna see Steph Catley because she was rested midweek. I'd like to see Hines on the left, not McCabe, Catley. Lata's gonna be the right center back, and then I would take Holmberg over Fox. Given how it seemed to be a non-contact head injury, but then again, they never showed back in the replay of what was actually going wrong with Fox. You know, I would start Holmberg over Fox. I would do Hines, Catley, Lata, and Holmberg with likely. I feel like this would be the game that Daphne would be coming back in. I also wouldn't be upset if Borbe is continuing to play.
Yeah, she hasn't really done that much wrong in the last few games. Obviously, there was the hiccup on Wednesday that we're not going to discuss.
I wouldn't criticise her too heavily for that, if I'm honest.
Mm-mm.
Even the best keepers in the world, unfortunately, every now and again will misdirect a pass. Our guru there, Kev, he's a goalkeeping guru. You'd say the same thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it's just the way the modern game's played.
Yeah,
that's my biggest frustration because it's just the way it's played, and every club makes a mistake now and again. Premier League, European stuff, it happens. It annoys me like nobody's business, but it's just the way the game is played.
Yeah,
I like Laura's call out there. Since we're down wingers and we only have Ford and Mead available to us, do start Fox as your right back, but then put Smila Holmberg up as your right winger. She obviously can get the crosses in, and she's got the pace. And if worse comes to worse and she needs to drop back, she can help defend.
Yeah.
She's going to be a little superstar for us, that girl. She really is. I've never been this excited about a signing in a long, long, long time. I'm more excited about Smilla than I was when we signed Russo, if I'm honest. This girl has got huge potential. She just needs to be managed properly. What is she, 19? Is she 20? What's
19.
her age? 19. So let's manage her properly. Let's give her some, we don't want to burn her out and play her in every single game, because that's what Emily's problem is. We had nobody previously that Rennie had confidence in to replace Fox with, but now we do. So hopefully they'll share the workload. But you know the way Rennie's mind works. Fox is there. She's always going to play if she's fit, and maybe Samira will just have to be a bench warmer for a season or two, maybe. I don't know. What a shame that we can't have Samila and Fox on the same pitch at the same time, left and right. It's a shame they're both on the same side, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be good to see the way that they could play on down each wing, because, as you say, the crosses that come in, that Holmberg's had in the last couple of games, even though she's only playing sort of 10, 15 minutes, have been spot on for someone of her age coming into a brand new setup.
And it looks like she's been there forever, because from the minute she stepped across that line onto the pitch, she was gunning for it, to use one of Kev's expressions. She was gunning for it up that wing, zipping those crosses in. She had no fear, the girl. And she even had the confidence as a 19-year-old, been at Arsenal for 5 seconds, to run into the box and have a shot. That takes confidence to do, knowing that if you hit high and wide, you might get criticised. They didn't seem to bother her. I'm doing it, whether you like it or not. And I love that attitude from a player. I really like this girl.
She was probably thinking at that point, what the hell are you bloody strikers doing? I'll show you.
Well, why not? I mean, why not? I mean, we're not, as Paul just said, we're not allowed to be negative. So I'm going to not say anything about Russo.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing for Russo though is that she needs someone to actually push her. I don't think Stina is pushing her enough to like be competing for that starting spot.
But Stina's never ever going to be a starter. We all know that she's an
Mm-mm.
impact player, and every time she does start, she fizzles out. And the problem with Stina also, George, if he's listening, is going to be his toes will be curling now. Russo is a sort of girl, the sort of player that will get the ball and create her own chance. That's the sort of player she is. Whereas Stina, she needs that ball to be fed into her in the right channels at the right place and preferably into feet so she can turn and shoot. And if she isn't getting the service, what can she do? I feel sorry for Stina, more so than I feel sorry for Russo. Of course, I would say that. I'm biased, but I do.
So with the front three then, Darren, for tomorrow, it's probably going to be the Ford, Russo and Beth up there, because obviously Chloe Kelly's still not back in training, fully training, and Olivia Smith picked up the red card.
Yeah.
Do you see that working for us?
It really doesn't matter where it works or not. We're pretty much pushed into a corner here. Who else do we have?
Mariona out on the left.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Well spotted. See, that's why you're on here, to keep us like in check. But will she be there, or will she be double pivot with Kimmy in the middle again?
Oh, she'll always be the double pivot. I mean, the midfield is pretty much. I mean, unless you were to do Palova, Little, and Manum as your midfield three, to then have Mariona out on the left, because
Why?
Caitlin Ford is just Caitlin Ford.
Laura's asking if I'm okay. If I said something wrong, I'm not sure what she's on to me about.
Stina.
Oh, come off here. Come off here. I mean, I know Jules barks on about this time and time again that Beth Mee should get all the plaudits for the Champions League goal, but Stina made the room. She made that pass easy for Beth. I could have made that pass, George. Just saying. He's not on the show. I wouldn't say if he was on the show. But yeah, so Paul, back to your question. I don't really see we have much option other than to go with that. I think you asked Kev or Catherine just now about the defence. Again, we're pretty limited to where we are and what we are. Would I drop Kadena? She did all right, didn't she? Interesting, though. She come on in midfield against Aston Villa as a sub, though, didn't she? And one can't really comment too much about that because she only got about 10 minutes. So I don't know whether that would be a good place for. No, I'm not suggesting she starts there, by the way. I'm just saying as maybe a substitute later on in the game if we need to get that ball up the pitch quicker.
And then the midfield, Kev, it's, as we just touched on, it's probably going to be Kim, Mariona, and then Marnham in the 10 role. Or do you see Kyra getting a start now that she's back? Or do you see her coming off the bench?
She probably won't even be in the squad. Listening to the press conference, she's barely had any training sessions since we came back from the Christmas break. So she's Renee said she's not in a position to play. So yes, we are stuck with what we've got. I would love to see her add Layla Harbert to the squad. Just, even if, for 10, 15 minutes at the end of a game to get her in there. I mean, we know she's got skills. And because of our restricted options, we've got to find something else to maybe give us a little spark. I mean, I was thinking at work yesterday. Why don't we just throw a huge bloody great spanner in the works and go 4-4-2? Because nobody does. So just go for it. I don't care. What have we got to lose at the moment?
So on your 4-4-2, then you're going to presumably, I should say, have Stina and Russo up front.
Yep.
So who's your midfield for, and how you for? What's the formation?
4-4-2. Simple
Yeah,
as that.
when I say what formation, where you positioning these particular players?
Well, straight across the middle. I would probably play Kim and Mariano in the middle. Don't kill me. Katie McCabe left side of midfield, and Smilla Holmberg on the right.
Cool. So, say theoretically, we go 4-4-2. The 11 best players we've got in our squad at the moment that are fit and well are starting. The bench is empty.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We're pretty buggered, aren't we, at the moment, chaps?
Yeah, this is why I say it needs to add Layla Harbert to the squad and put her on the bench and give her minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, she says she wants to bring the youngsters through. Well, now's the time to start.
Oh, I wouldn't want to start them. Just not the time to start against blooming Chelsea, at Chelsea. What we can't afford to do, in my book, is be humiliated by these guys tomorrow. If we lose 1-0, 2-0, hey-ho, close game, but we can't have a cricket score against these guys. It will destroy the confidence of the supporters. It will destroy the confidence of the team, and then we spiral out of control as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, that's my one fear tomorrow. It's either going to be tight or we're going to get hammered.
Yeah.
I don't think we would get hammered. I think defensively we are great, and like the recent goals that we have conceded are Borbe being put under pressure. She's trying to clear it out. She doesn't sky it out of the park to get it to the halfway line. She just tries to play it shorter to the midfield, and essentially the midfield ends up losing it, and then it's like 3 seconds later they score. I think like defensively, at least from the center backs, from really no matter who's been playing defensively, that's a sound thing. So, and Chelsea have seemed to struggle against strong defensive teams so far this season.
Yeah, but we don't play a low block.
Yeah.
Not that DNA. And that opens us up, doesn't it? What the style of play that we have. And Mariano just keeps losing the ball in midfield all the time at the moment. Considering that, and I don't want to criticise her, and I've got no right or desire to criticise her, but when one thinks that she is the second best player in the world, was Russo third in that vote? I think she was. So we've got two of the three best players in the world, and neither of them are playing to their abilities at the moment. Is that a problem with the formation? Is it a problem with the coaching? Are they just not in for it this season? Who knows what the answer is? I'm not in the camp for Rene out. I'll make that quite clear. I'm not in that camp at all. But there is something drastically wrong at Colony at the moment, because whatever they're doing, it ain't transpiring onto the pitch, which is frustrating. Because Catherine, if you go back to your stats earlier on, from I don't know what day it was, Wednesday's game. I think I don't know if you said this or whether I read this. Arsenal had around about 21, 24 shots at target with only 3 on goal.
21, 4 on target. Okay. If you care about XG, we had an XG of 2.38. United had 6 shots, 4 on target with an XG of 1.
There's something wrong.
And we had 6 corners and did nothing with them.
We never do.
No.
We never do.
Can we bring in the men's set piece coach just for like 2 training sessions?
Yeah, but we haven't got Gabrielle.
But we do have people that are tall, like.
Yeah, but that's one area we miss. We miss Amanda for that.
And Katie.
Yeah.
Not that she scored many, but she was tall, so she was always a presence and a threat in the box.
Yeah.
All right, so this is now that we're coming towards the end of the transfer window. All right, so this is a completely what if Michelle Ajiman did not do her ACL in the beginning of the season or whenever she did it. Do you think that Arsenal would have recalled her loan in January so that she could start playing? for
Happily.
Arsenal in the second half of the season.
I mean, none of us will definitely know the answer, yay or nay. But if I was in the boots of Rooney, I'd be definitely calling her back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, technically, they did officially recall her loan. I saw Brighton had tweeted something out. I'm like, I thought Michelle came back to Arsenal to do her rehab almost immediately, but Brighton had officially announced in January that that loan contract has ended.
Yeah, but is
So-
that more to do with not paying her wages?
Could be,
Yeah.
but
And of course, we have got Rosa still on loan at Brighton, haven't we? But,
forgot about that. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's not the answer to the crisis.
No,
No.
we're not that desperate at the moment,
Is it
are
a
we?
crisis? Is that too strong a word to use at the moment? A crisis?
No.
There's certainly a crisis of confidence with some of our players, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then you see the other day that Beth Mead apparently was an offer was put in by London City for
Again.
her, and we accepted it, but she
Really?
turned it down apparently.
Oh, I think that was the summer window one. They were going over
Yeah.
all of. I thought they were going over all the summer windows. And,
Yeah, it was.
I did read somewhere that they'd done it again. So
That was a very peculiar fact, actually, about the United game. That Beth got 5 or 10 minutes at the end.
Mhm.
When we've all been singing her plaudits on this show in particular, and if we're singing it, you can bet your bottom dollar that there's other people that do this sort of thing that are singing her plaudits as well. She's been playing exceptionally well this season. Was she being saved for Chelsea? Keep her fresh for Chelsea, maybe, but
I think at the time in which she came on, I'm seeing when she came. Yeah, she came on for the last 6 minutes of the game, plus stoppage. I don't think even if we brought her on shortly after the red card, I had said it after like during the watch along during the league 0-0 draw, like United are so defensively sound, and they were already tough to crack to begin with, and then they had gone down to 10, and they had just shored that right up and said there's no way you're getting past us. But they pretty much just put out the same tactics that they played 2 weeks ago and played that on Wednesday. Because looking at like possession, Arsenal had most of the possession. Arsenal had most of the possession in the final third, and when United had the ball, it was more or less when they were getting the ball back from Arsenal and had it mostly in their defensive half. And then they might throw that pass forward and try and get a shot off, but it's just United were always going to be a tough team to beat. And they got lucky with that one goal. They also Arsenal got extremely lucky with a no pen call. I don't know if you saw anything different than I did on the stream of it, but I didn't think that was a penalty, and then I rewatched it like three times after that day. I'm like, yeah, that could have and should have been a penalty for United.
was that first or second half?
I think that was first half. I think that was going to put them up 1-0. It's when McCabe ended up like standing over Turland and was like,
yeah. That was a deliberate push, wasn't it? And then she leant over and said, "Get the fuck up."
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the ground because obviously Man United, the buggers, they switched the ends, didn't they? Which we were all very upset about. But yeah, I see that on the highlights when I got home. Oh, yes, the day after, I should say. But yeah, that looked like a clear penalty to me as well.
We'll take it of not being called.
Yeah, got to have a bit of luck now and again.
Mm-hmm.
But so tomorrow, though, I can't see Chelsea setting up the same way as United did. Chelsea are going to want to attack, which is going to mean we've got to be defensively solid for there. Kev, do you actually see us keeping a clean sheet tomorrow?
No. They're gonna come at us, and they've got quality. But by the same token, if they're going to come at us, that'll open up space for us to play our game. Whether we can finish it off is another matter. But if it's an open game, we got a chance.
Is Darren, is this the sort of game that we could be 0-0 with sort of 10-15 minutes to go and some Steiner magic?
Let's just roll back to. I mean, my memory's fading fast, but the last 3 or 4 games that we've had with Chelsea, other than I think we smashed them at the Emirates, didn't we? 4-1, 4-2, 4-1. Other than that, they've all been very, very close games. Last year at Stamford Bridge, that was actually a really good game of football to watch, with that stupid mistake at the end, with the pen or whatever it was. Katie McCabe getting sent off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, that was quite. We could have taken a point from that. We could have actually won it. At home this year, again, my God, that was
we did win it.
That was a tale of 2 disallowed goals, wasn't it? The Steiner handball that hit a mid-drift. So we should have won that. So maybe we're being too harsh on our girls. Maybe tomorrow, with a game that suits our style of football, as Kev was saying just now, an open game where both teams are attacking, lots of space on the pitch. Mariona can do what she does best and be creative and get those passes into Russo. We could win. There's stranger things have happened at sea. I'll tell you what, I'd rather beat Chelsea tomorrow at the Bridge than win tonight's 89 million lottery.
Oh.
I really would, because I'd get much more joy on Sunday knowing that we smashed Chelsea than knowing that actually I can retire for the rest of my life now and go on holiday and buy a box at the Emirates. And all you guys are invited. But no,
you're going to pay for my ticket to fly over?
Yeah. When I win the lottery, that's my first purchase. Is a box.
But if you won 89 million, you could buy a couple of players for us.
Well, I wonder if I could invest in the team. I mean, I know this is all hypothetical, but with 89 mil, could we invest in the Arsenal Women's Football Club? Could we buy them and do what everybody else is doing? What are the other teams? And that's Chelsea, for instance. They're separate from their men's team, aren't they?
But they cost 200 million.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, didn't Chelsea sell it to a subsidiary of themselves? They sold it to themselves.
Yes. Same as the hotels.
Yeah.
Invent a new company and transfer it because there's no money.
No.
I was, of course, joking. I'd rather have 89 mil than 3 points. But I really can't. Oh my God, I just don't want to lose to these guys tomorrow. I'm not heavy on the social media side of life, so I don't follow, the TikToks and the Instagrams and everything frigging else. But can you imagine the amount of grief we will get tomorrow and Sunday and the following days if we lose to these guys? Yeah. I actually, do you know what? I'll take a draw and walk away. Well played, happy days, move on to the next game.
Yeah, because how long can we just continue to give them the same reply? Champions of Europe.
I know. Yeah. We've only got a couple months left of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we play them again, don't we, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League?
Well, we've got to get past Leuven first.
I would say I can't see that being a problem.
You never know the way we're playing at the moment.
So, Chelsea then. Catherine, where do you see their biggest threat coming from Chelsea?
I feel like I knew that question was going to be coming, and I think the biggest problem for me right now though is that you can't they haven't been playing the same attackers each the last 3 games. I think the only constant has been Alyssa Thompson. Sam Kerr could likely be back and starting. She's always loved a goal against Arsenal. Erin Cuthbert, I really hope she gets sent off. But I think the biggest obstacle is going to end up being Hannah Hampton. Now that she's back, she held City to a clean sheet, kept them quiet. I think that's where our biggest problem is going to be is the goalkeeper.
Combination of their goalkeeper and our clinical finishing.
Extremely clinical finishing.
So, open one to everyone then. Who can you see winning this for us and how?
Oh God.
Give me a little. Coming in late on the edge of the box. Top bins. Job done.
I'd love to see a Kimmy Little goal from outside the box, top corner, bang it in. For that matter, I would even take a Katie McCabe goal. Doesn't matter from her, just a goal from her. I do think that Beth Mead could get it done for us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, her form over the last few games has been fantastic for us. And, we were criticising her a year ago when she came back from her ACL, but it's just, it's obviously taken quite a few months for her to get back to where she was. And if you look at other players, look at Viv Miedema at Man City now as well. She seems to have just about hit that form again after her ACL. So with the whole Miedema situation, do you reckon if she'd have stayed with us, she could have filled that number 10 role? And
I thought the reason why she left, part of the reason why she left was that she was told she was going to be playing in the 10 and she didn't want to. At least that's what some of those that deep dive into players' lives on X have put out, is that Viv was told we can give you a new contract and we will give you a new contract. Just know you will not be the striker. You will be playing in that 10 role. And I don't want to do that. Let me go to City, where I would then be sitting behind Bunny Shaw.
yeah.
And guess what? She's now playing in the 10.
Possibly a larger factor of that was the beautiful relationship she had with Jonas at the end.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Yeah, so if Jonas had have gone, say, 3 or 4 games earlier at the actual end of the previous season, do you think that could have changed it, Kev, for her?
Quite possible. Because that you could see, especially the episode where she was just about to come on and then Jonas sort of pretty much almost shoved her back onto the bench. I mean, that was... you could see there that it was over. But yeah, I think if Renee had took over, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Changed the dynamic completely.
I mean, that is all ifs and maybes, isn't it? And that is a thing of the past. But it does just see that there's one player we've let go that could have just filled that gap for us at the moment. So, Darren, is there anyone that you could see that Renee could bring into this squad that could make that difference either in the midfield or up front?
Yes. Unfortunately, she's just been awarded a huge new contract.
Yeah, that's what she was playing for.
That's what she... I didn't realise she was so young at 23, though. I was quite surprised. I thought she was about 26, 27, that girl. So fair play to her, actually. Fair play to her. But I'd love Bunny Shaw in our team.
I think anyone would.
But I think they would. But unfortunately, guys, Paul, I'm going to have to avoid this question because I don't really study other players until they're at Arsenal, when particularly if they're not playing in the WSL. And I can't think of anybody in the current, well, apart from a couple of Chelsea players, and I can't think of anybody that I was bringing over Russo or Steiner, and that's quite a frightening thing to say, actually, at the moment. And can I just answer AWFC Match Day Vlogs, Laura? I'm not suggesting that Stina will never ever save us, and I'm not suggesting that she's not a good player. My point, I think, more is that she is not getting the service. When she does get the service, we can all see what the girl can do if you give her enough opportunities. Of course, I'm not going to be stupid enough to suggest that she's a one-shot, one-goal type person, because she's not. But I don't really know. I think we might need just to adapt our style of play a little bit in order to be able to be more direct in attacking the box, because it's that old adage, we're all still in the North Bank or wherever we are, Miller Park or Emirates, pass to the side, backwards, pass to the side. Very rarely does it go forward. Yet then comes a young blonde Swedish girl, we've discussed this already, and she went, nah, sod that. I'm going to rip that textbook up. This is what we're going to do. Get the ball and run. Doop, doop, doop. Cross it. And then she goes. And I love that direct style of play. I think we should do it more often. Pop something or the other says Rennie is not good enough. I strongly disagree with that statement. Rennie is good enough, in my opinion. And I think some people would agree. And obviously some people would not agree. But she needs to be given time to, and we've said this on so many shows in the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, she needs to be given the opportunity to build her own squad. We've all suggested and agreed that actually she's inherited not just Jonas's squad, but Joe before that, some of his squad as well. And if you look across to the men with Mikel Arteta, he had the same issues when he first started. Yeah. Slowly but surely, I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but probably 90% of the Arsenal starting lineup now, or at least the 16 of them that were there on the bench on the pitch, are his choices, not inherited. I don't know if that's a true stat, but that's pretty much what we've given Mikel Arteta the time to do. And we strongly need to be able to do the same for Renee. And then, and this is a long way down the line, I get that, but in 3 years' time when her contract is up, if she still won jack shit, then that's the time we can say, you had the opportunity, you've done nothing with it, we're going to have to move on. But at the moment, for anybody to suggest that she's not good enough, needs their eyes tested.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Definitely. I totally agree with you there, Darren. You know, she's got to have a time to rebuild, and obviously that has started with in the summer with Olivia Smith and Taylor Hines coming in, and then Holmberg again in this transfer window, and then we'll wait and see what happens in the summer with contracts that are up. And
so, Paul, can I ask the question? I'll ask you the question you asked me. Who would you bring in as a striker?
Yeah, again,
you've got more of an eye on the European market, I think, than I have.
Not so much Europe, more just in the WSL. But I'd have to agree on current form. It would be Bunny Shaw, because you know, even when she's out for a few games, she just comes straight back in as if nothing's happened, and she does just seem to be the most consistent striker at the moment. You know, and that would be the one. I'd love to see her and Russo playing together. I think that could be Russo on form and Bunny Shaw in the same team.
And
Stina from the bench when they're knackered. That works for me.
Stina and a fit Michelle, as you
know. Imagine learning from Bunny Shaw and Alessia Russo, though. Like what that could do for Michelle. Because they're kind of two very different types of strikers, but still the same thing at the same time. I mean, it's kind of like, for me, you know, kind of comparing it to like the men's side, it's like Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. Very different styles of playing as a striker, but at the end of the day, they're still the striker. Like, at least City know how to find a good striker for the men's and the women's side. And I mean, it's interesting now because like Bunny Shaw's contract is up at the end of this season. She might not want to stay there.
I would suggest she probably does because they're going to win the WSL. They're going to be qualifying for Europe, clearly.
Yeah.
I would want to stay, wouldn't you? Her roots are, well, her roots are Jamaica, but she's settled in Manchester. She's loved by the sorry. So I wouldn't want to move if I was Bunny Shaw, unless, of course, there's huge offer. And I can't see Arsenal doing that.
No.
I can't see it.
Barca can't afford to.
Barca can't afford to. So
no, I would actually try and capitalize on Barca being so far in the shitter, because
again,
like
it's all about money again, Catherine.
Yeah, Leon
I don't
would have the money, and
Leon would have the money. PSG don't. Well, I think PSG do, but it's a matter of getting their players registered properly before they get hit with a fine and a points deduction. Salma Pariuelo, I would take her. She can play she's primarily a left winger. She can play on the right. She can play up top. She's out of contract at the end of this season. Do I see her? Salma Pariuelo. She plays for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Realistically, I don't see her leaving Barcelona. However, if Barcelona cannot offer her the wages that she wants to renew her contract, because either Barcelona are being restricted, because I think Bonmati, Alexia, I think a lot of their top players are also out of contract. I think they started the season out with 16 senior players because they had to get rid of so many players to financially be able to play. I don't see that changing with a renewal of contract. So players that are out of contract, try and poach them. Go for it. I mean, the revenue report just came out earlier this week. It's not like we don't have the revenue. I mean, I don't know the entirety of all of the expenses that Arsenal have, but try and poach her. You have Mariona for another year. You have Codina potentially for another year. That's 2 Spaniards that she would be joining. It's not like she would be the only one. Go for it. At this point, take the risk.
I agree with you, but I don't think it's again, it's all hypothetical, but I don't think it's a case that Arsenal have not got the money, because they clearly have got the money. It's whether they're willing to splash out that big. In recent seasons, from the women in particular, they've not wished to. I know they spent 1 million on Olivia. That was, throws what I'm saying, makes it a mockery of what I'm saying. But in my opinion, they just don't want to splash out the big cash, particularly on wages. And I think that's the issue. And that's why Chelsea have got the upper hand on us. They are happy to splash out on the bigger wages. And I say that as a gut feeling, because I've never seen, like the men, their salaries are heavily reported. I don't think I've ever seen that for the women. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm based on the fact that Chelsea are quite happy to spend handsomely big on salaries and transfer fees. Arsenal a little bit more shrewd with their business. They will splash out every now and again on a big transfer fee, but no idea. Dorian, I've got no clue how much Mariona gets. More than I do, that's for sure.
They might have your 89 million, though, to help them out after your lottery win.
Problem is, I'm in the syndicate, so I'd only probably get about 8 million of it.
I've seen various opinions printed and posted about incomes.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen anything.
Because I saw somebody, some list was saying that Leah's on £400,000 a year. Lauren James is earning £600,000 a year, but I believe that includes all their personal deals, the sponsorships and endorsements. Because I was under the impression it was nearer £150,000 a year for Leah.
I mean,
so,
that's true. How is that?
So I just did a quick little Google search, and they have, and I mean, it kind of tracks. It's in USD, so it does look like Russo would be on around 400,000 a year, which is probably around 8,000 pounds a week. Leah's at probably like 7,100 a week. She's at around, I can't do that conversion now, so I'm just going to do USD. Alessia's at 391 a year. Leah's at 356. Someone asked about Mariona. She's the fourth highest at 277. Beth Mead is at 320 a year. In comparison, Chelsea, top earner, you have Alyssa Thompson is at 926 a year. So she's almost at a million pounds a year.
Somebody, and this is what we're saying.
And then you have Sam Kerr at just under $400,000 a year. Yeah. Kira Walsh is at 350. Lucy Bronze is at 350. Naomi Girma is at 350. Millie Bright is at 350. So you take the top four players from Arsenal and Chelsea, and Chelsea's is willing to fork out that money. So
yeah, but are they? Is when the men's PSR rules came in, clubs like your Chelsea's, Liverpool's, United's were ahead of the game. They'd already spent loads of money before it came in. Are we going to see a similar thing with the WSL? Because eventually you will get PSR of some kind come in, which I think is another thing where we try and do things on a more sustainable level, because when it comes to income or revenue, and a percentage of that revenue is allowed to be paid in transfer fees and wages, Chelsea would be screwed going forward, because their revenue would not cover what they're laying out.
All right,
relatively percentage-wise.
Salma Periuelo is currently on around 190 a year at Barcelona. Bonmati is at 1.3 million a year. Puteos is at just under 1 million. Iwa Payor is at almost 600,000 a year.
Euros.
That's all their money gone.
Yeah, their top three earners earn more than probably the top half of what Arsenal earns. They're averaging about $115,000 a week in wages.
Nice.
But in the grand scheme of things, those figures are peanuts when you discuss what somebody like Saka gets a week in comparison to their a year. One club mentality. Come on, guys. If we want, it shit out of me. 60,000 people every now and again will turn up to watch the Arsenal women. On average, around about 30,000 will fill up the Emirates. We're giving them our time, our love, our support. It's not a one-way street. This is a two-way street. They need to give us something back. Yes, people were screaming at the screen. They gave us a Champions League final in May. Yeah, brilliant. What have they done this year? Absolutely nothing. We just bloody got beat by horrible Man United at Meadow Park. That's one semi-final. We will get past Bristol City in the fifth round. Then we get one of the big teams in the next round of the FA Cup, and that'll probably be that journey over as well.
It'd be Chatham Town.
Chatham Town. Our journey is going to end in the Champions League at Chelsea. We ain't getting any further than that.
I think we could do Chelsea over third place, especially if there's VAR. Like the game that we lost to Chelsea 1-0 from a penalty, it was a Lauren James dive.
When doesn't she dive?
Maybe that was the wrong game, but like Lauren James is able to get away with so much garbage in the WSL, especially when she plays Arsenal. Because
be careful, Catherine, you'll get cancelled.
I don't care. I'm not English, so she doesn't play for my country.
I called her when she put the boot in on somebody. I called her an absolutely despicable person. I got hammered, absolutely hammered.
Oh, is that the day she followed through? Was it Cadena?
I can't remember it. I just remember.
Or are you talking about the World Cup incident?
No.
I can't actually remember. I just remember she stuck the boot in on somebody, and
She
was
went
all
in
that around
after the whistle had gone and run her studs down someone's shins. I think it was like Adina.
I said she was despicable, and in the very next breath, somebody was calling me a racist. I didn't say that.
No, I mean, take away any player. If you give me a silhouette of players, and it's kind of like, guess who the player is. One of those moments where you have no idea who the player is. It's just, a shadow of them running across the pitch, and it's obviously been animated and stuff so that you don't know who it is. The way that the player dived was maybe her hair got touched, or their hair got touched, or their jersey got grazed, falling to the ground. I think Heaslip was the referee, so there is no chance as to why she wouldn't favor Chelsea. Statistically speaking, she always favors Chelsea. I think she has never given Chelsea a loss, but gives the penalty. Player was not touched. And then what irked me the most and pissed me off the most is that Lauren James looked up, smirked, and then did I do that? Did I do that? Yes, you did. But you get VAR involved. If you had VAR at the beginning of this season, then Leslie Russo's first goal would have stood. The Stina handball would have been realized. It hit her sternum, not her hand. Goal stands. The goal that they actually gave, that people were saying, "Oh, that's offsides." No, that was onside. That was a 3 or 4-1 game to Arsenal, and that's just this season. And that's where it's like VAR is starting to be one of those things that should be implemented across all leagues at this point. I find it frustrating that, we can have it in the final of the Subway Cup, but we aren't going to have it in any of the games leading up to it, like in the knockout phases. We can have it in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, but we can't have it anytime before that because of the teams that are playing in there and their stadiums aren't outfitted with it.
Yeah,
isn't there money set aside from the FA that's like, we can get you at least, I'm not talking about the VAR situation that the Premier League has. I'm talking about the ones that FIFA has pretty much used for the Women's World Cup. You get the goal line technology built in, you get automated offsides. And then VAR has really only been used in the Women's World Cup in the instance of, is that a red card offense or was that a handball penalty that I missed? That was pretty much the extent of what they were using it for. They weren't using it like they are using it in the Premier League right now. But it's like there are good ways to use it and there are bad ways to use it. Liga F, I think, has been using it for 2 or 3 years now. France, no one really cares about France. Let's be honest. There's really only one team there, and their name is not PSG. And Germany has what, 2 teams, maybe
2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah. So the NWSL, they've used it. They go so far as getting VAR monitors and coolers on the days when it gets super hot out, so that the equipment doesn't fry. When will the WSL be like, we actually are going to start implementing this and we're going to do it the right way?
So what we've learned tonight, chaps, in the 59 minutes there, is that if you want to get Catherine on a rant, just say Laura Jones or talk about referees.
Okay, so we quickly go around to get your score predictions for tomorrow. Catherine?
Logically, it's going to be a 1-0 Arsenal win. I think Arsenal are due for a Chelsea win. My heart says, and completely unrealistically, Arsenal are going to go out there and thump them 5-0. 5-1. Like I said, unrealistically. That's what I want, folks.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'd love to see a 2-1. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. They got too much. But 2-1. Kimmy little winner.
Darren?
Well, interesting. You should ask me that. I think despite all the doom and gloom of the last hour, criticising certain players within our team and maybe the setup of the play, tomorrow is the sort of game that we enjoy. When I say we, I mean the girls on the pitch. They love playing these big games. And as mentioned earlier on, the last few games against Chelsea have almost always turned in our favour. Almost. I see us going there tomorrow, turning on the style and winning 2-0.
Who are your goal scorers?
I don't care. Anybody.
Oh, I was asking that because Sully Games said that you were going to say Stina was going to score. So I just
Well,
you don't care who, just as long as
yeah,
would you take 2 own goals from Millie Bright?
Yeah.
Millie
She's got my fantasy team.
Millie Bright and Lauren James own goals. That would be fantastic. I'd like to say Russo, but oh my God. I tell you what, if Frida starts tomorrow, and I'm not sure if she does, if she continues with the same industry she put in, the same work ethos that she put in against Man United, but actually sharpened up her finishing, she could get a brace quite easily.
She
Thanks,
likes the
Laura.
big game.
I won't forget. Say again.
She likes the big game.
Mm-hmm.
2-0, Frida, and just to shut everybody up, Stina.
Yeah. I was thinking sort of along the same lines that this is a game that we should be able to go out and enjoy, and it's the sort of game that suits us. We'll step up to this type of thing, and I'm going for a 2-0, and I'd love to see Hollenberg get a goal instead of just crossing it into the box. She's going to get frustrated with nobody in there, and she's going to smack it from outside the box.
Can we ban Laura from this show? She said we was going to lose against Man United, and we did. She's now saying we're going to get battered 3-1. She's coming down for that game tomorrow, isn't she?
Allegedly.
I think
so.
so.
What, Laura, me and you going to have words in the pub tomorrow. I can tell you that, young lady. What we will win is the battle in the stands. We were out seeing those buggers.
Well, there's us against Basel, isn't it?
Oh.
I was gonna say, isn't there only like 200 Chelsea fans that ever turn up at the bridge?
But don't they give away their tickets to NHS staff for free?
Can I just say one last thing, actually, Paul, about fans? I mean, I know we got beat by Man United on Wednesday, but I was super impressed the amount of fans that they brought.
Well, they didn't have far to come, did they?
Well, this is very true. Maybe they only come from Surrey, but you know, it's not very often we get that many fans at Benapole, even at the Emirates, any game for Arsenal at home. So that's encouraging for the women's game in some respects. That, you know, that Man United are a newish team. They're beginning to get a good following. Maybe one day they'll rival us with 30, 40, 50,000 people turning up at Old Trafford. Fair play to them. I know we got beat by them, but fair play to them. They're going in the right way. I don't mind that at all for the women's game.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. And Catherine, thank you for coming on. I'm guessing you're not going to be at the match tomorrow.
No. Can't make it. Sorry.
Will you make any games at all this season, do you think?
No,
that's a shame.
My goal is for the 26-27 season to make it out.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
That's the goal.
Kev, you're there tomorrow. You said you're.
I am.
Not Stina.
No. Using the train tomorrow. Well, I couldn't argue with £9 for a return ticket.
You got an OAP discount, didn't you, mate?
No. Not yet.
I'm only just behind you, mate.
And Darren, thank you as ever. You're
Pleasure.
definitely
Sorry,
there
I was
tomorrow,
late.
aren't you? I'll see you in the pub tomorrow.
Yeah, you're bringing young Esme.
Yep,
Excellent.
we'll be there.
I need to discuss hairstyles with her.
Yeah, I'm sure she can do plenty for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, follow us on all the social medias, and stay positive. So come on, you Gunners.